Now we are going to introduce new topic, install and set up Anaconda on Windows. We have to install Jupyter Notebook on your machine so that can code with it. That's what we will do using Anaconda distribution. Simply type onto your browser window install Anaconda. So here bring up many pages on your search engine. Click on this link here which allow you how you can get Anaconda on Windows. Here we are on the download page. Scroll down. So here Anaconda installer. This is the latest version of Anaconda software available with Python latest version. Python latest version is here 3.11. Click on this executable file. So downloading is started now. It will take time. So file size is around 899 MB. So wait a moment. So downloading has been done. Now go ahead and open it up and start the installation process. This will bring up a dialog where you simply follow the instruction on this dialog in order to get Anaconda and Python setup on your machine. Click on next. Make sure you agree with the license agreement. Click on the I agree button here and move on to the next page. So click here, just me as recommended, and click on the next button to proceed with the installation. Decide where the destination folder for this installation should be. It's just okay for you. Click on next and move on. Now we are on this page which show you some advanced installation. Now the particular details that you need to pay attention. If you click and select the checkbox, this version of Python that will are installing using Anaconda will be the version that applies by default. We should make sure that we do all of our demos using the latest version of Python. So I'm going to select this checkbox. This checkbox is add Anaconda 3 to my path environment variable and click on install button. Just wait for a few seconds till the installer does its job and complete the installation of the Anaconda distribution on your system. Guys, installation has been completed. We are at the end of our installation. Let's move on to the next page. Now click on finish button here and you have successfully installed and set up Python using the Anaconda distributor. Now you have Python on your local machine. Let's move on and see how we can interact with Python. So for that we will use Jupyter Notebook. Jupyter Notebook is web-based IDE. IDE means integrated development environment. Python will run inside hosted environment. There are two ways to interact with Jupyter Notebook. First one is through Anaconda prompt and second one is through Anaconda Navigator. Let's see how we can run Jupyter Notebook on Anaconda prompt. For this, you need to bring up the command prompt and here search Anaconda prompt. It will open within a prompt, write Jupyter Notebook and enter. Here you will get your desired page. This desired page, Jupyter on localhost. Let's move to another way. Here we will open Jupyter Notebook through Anaconda Navigator. Here in search bar, type Anaconda. Click on this. Anaconda Navigator will be opened. So here click on Jupyter Notebook launch button. Now Jupyter on localhost. Let's get started and click on new icon over the top right. Here are various options, but we are only interested on Python 3. This is new notebook and now you are ready to get started with coding. You can see here this is little box is actually a code cell. You can run your code within this little box. Let's do some code. Let's assume variable a is equal to 1, variable b is equal to 2, print a plus b, then you will hit shift plus enter in order to execute this code. Here you will get your output as 3. You have done your first coding on Jupyter Notebook. This cell can have different types, two of which are interested to us. First one is code and second one is markdown. This is a code section. This is a by default case wherever you want to run Python. Second one is markdown. Markdown is a syntax that uses a standard text character for formatting and can be used to include nicely formatted explanation and instruction. To change a cell type to markdown, select the cell, then choose the markdown in the cell node dropdown. So through this way, you will convert your code section to markdown. These cells you can also use as heading. So for using heading, you have to use hash mark. So through single and double hash, you can control heading font. I'm just going to write down one heading remarks. This is my first code, and using double hash, it's very interesting. So to convert these cells into a heading, so go to here and select heading. You can see here single hash mark we are using for larger font and double hash mark we are using for smaller font. Let's focus guys, this one is very interesting. If I'm going back to old code, variable a is equal to 1 and assign variable b as 2, and if I'm going to execute a plus b, so at that moment it is automatically printed by the Jupyter Notebook under out box. Whenever you will use a print function, it is printed directly below the in cell without the out label here.